Hello, friends, family, fellow seekers. Sally the Seeker here. Hope you all are doing great. I am sharing with you some clips of a complete testimony that I've already recorded about 6 months ago. This is Trooper Ryan Schulz. Schulz, I think he says. He's the mechanical inspector. And this is his testimony from his questions from the state because he's their witness, and of course Darrell's redirect. Now I have put it on my playlist. I changed the title a little because I don't even think it had his name on it, but I'm doing this because I'm trying to keep things kind of in order till the end of the trial, because I think I've recorded most everyone's testimony, and I'll put those in the playlist. If I haven't, I'll redirect you to it. But this is right after Detective Rowe. This is Trooper Schulz. Schulz is the mechanical inspector. And I'm just playing a little bit of this that I've already recorded, but I do recommend you all going to my playlist. It's going to be the second one. It's right after Justin Rowe, and it says something like Trooper Ryan Schulz. Just look for his name in there because I changed the title so it'd be easier to find. But I just want to give you some bits and pieces because, like I said, I believe Detective Rowe really got to Brooks, because like as you all discussed and we all laughed about, even after Brooks chastised him for looking at the jury, Detective Rowe continued to do that, and I think he broke Brooks. I believe he broke Brooks a bit, and so he is, oh my gosh, at the beginning of the video, if you go to the full testimony, you'll hear him sputtering about them being slick, and it's all about he's not fair. And this part I'm playing here is Brooks blows a gasket because they're talking about one of the pieces of evidence, and for some reason his did not have a sticker on it. I think it's Exhibit 83, something like that. And so Brooks goes ballistic because he doesn't have a label number. So I'm going to play a little bit of that just to kind of get y'all going, and then I really recommend you see the full testimony because he is ruthless while they're questioning him, and just as bad when he questions him and after, because he's just losing it, and he's Darrell. He just can't help himself. He has no self-control. So here we go. Here's a little bit.
What is the purpose of a mechanical inspection?
The purpose of a mechanical inspection is to determine if there was anything that was incorrect, defective, or broken on a vehicle prior to the crash that would have caused the vehicle itself to cause or contribute to the crash.
On December 6, 2021, were you directed to go to the Wisconsin State Crime Lab to view a vehicle?
Objection leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer. It's foundational. Go ahead.
Yes.
What information did you have prior to going to that location?
Objection speculative.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
The information that I was given is that I was to set up an appointment there to look at a Ford Escape that had been involved in a crash in the parade in Waukesha.
Did you go to that location on that date?
Yes, I did.
Did you do a mechanical inspection of the vehicle that you were sent to look at?
Objection leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes, I did.
After performing your inspection, did you draft a report?
Yes, I did.
And did that report contain the findings of your mechanical inspection from December 6th?
Objection leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes.
I provided to you prior to you going up on the stand what's been marked as State's Exhibit 83. Do you have that in front of you?
Yes.
Can you briefly identify it for how it's labeled, how many pages it consists of?
What exhibit is that?
Exhibit 83.
Oh, Lord.
It's the Crash Reconstruction Mechanical Inspection Report.
The whole report is Exhibit 83?
Correct.
Yes.
The whole report?
Go ahead.
Good
I
Lord,
haven't ruled
man.
on it yet, so go ahead and ask your questions, Attorney Casey.
Sir, how many pages does this report consist of?
10.
And that is front and back sides?
Correct.
Objection.
Good Lord.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
And on the face sheet of Exhibit 83, what information does it contain on that as it relates to this investigation?
At the top, it contains case number and recon number, which match my name, the reconstructionist, and then it begins the report and vehicle identification information, and then on the bottom it's marked with exhibit number 83.
What car were you inspecting?
Objection. Reading.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
2010 Ford Escape.
And what color was it?
Objection. Reading.
Overruled, you may answer.
Red.
And the license plate number associated with that vehicle?
A. Adam, D. David, P. Paul, 9256.
And on the report, the vehicle identification number on Exhibit 83, where did that information come from?
The vehicle identification number I verify on the inside of the door jamb of the vehicle. There's 2 VINs on each vehicle. One's a public VIN under the windshield, and one is inside the door jamb of the vehicle. I always use the one inside the door jamb of the vehicle first, take note of it, and then cross-reference it with the public VIN on the vehicle to make sure that they both match.
And did they in this case?
Objection. I have the 10 pages. Nowhere on here does it say exhibit.
Whoa. Are you kidding me? Look at him. Do you know how much all of these witnesses, police officers, all these people involved in this foolishness of this clown? He has the damn exhibit. Is he complaining because it's not labeled? Seriously, objection. Okay, let's see what he has to say.
Nowhere on here.
That's because it was marked for purposes of trial. It has an exhibit sticker now. So your objection is noted, it's overruled, and
Why am I not privy to the same?
the witness may answer the question. It's been marked as an exhibit.
Oh,
Go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry. He's going to be privy to it. Wait, is he pissed because he doesn't have the sticker on it? Oh my God. That is like, oh my God. I don't have any words right now.
Take the question. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I think I did too, but let's go with this one.
Poor man.
Is the number that you saw on the door, you said that you cross-referenced it with the VIN number, public VIN number. Did you do that in this case?
Yes.
And did they match?
Yes.
Does it give a drivetrain description on that first page, or front page?
Yes, it does.
And, first of all, I don't know what that means, but what is that?
Objection.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Drivetrain description describes the drive of the vehicle, basically how it's operated on the roadway. So in this case, it's an automatic transmission. It doesn't have a clutch. You don't have to shift the gears, and it's front wheel drive, meaning that it's not all wheel drive or rear wheel drive like a pickup truck. It's just front wheel drive.
And is there a picture on the front of Exhibit 83?
Yes.
Objection.
Overruled, the witness may answer. Just a reminder to wait until I've ruled on any objection. Thank you.
Yes.
And what is that picture of?
It's a picture of the 2010 Escape.
That you did the mechanical inspection on?
Objection.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Yes.
Have you authored this report?
I did.
Have you had a chance to review it since you've authored it?
Yes.
Is the information contained within this report accurate?
Objection.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Yes, it is.
I would move State's Exhibit 83 into evidence.
Objection.
Your objection is noted. It is overruled. Exhibit 83 is received.
So is my paperwork ever gonna say Exhibit 83, or is it just gonna be this?
Holy Hannah.
Mr. Brooks, I'll take that up outside the presence of the jury later, but we're going to continue.
We
Go
brought
ahead.
up in front of the jury.
Mr. Brooks, we're going to continue with the questioning of this witness.
What are y'all trying to pull in there?
Mr. Brooks, please. No one's.
Wow. He doesn't like it because his exhibit, which he has in hand, that he accepts for value and returns for value. I mean, most of the crap they give him he doesn't want, and now he's going to bitch about it. Yeah. Poor thing. It's not fair.
Exhibit, to my understanding, has previously been provided to you. You have it. It's now been marked as an exhibit for trial
No, that's
purposes.
something I don't have, though.
The sticker, it being marked.
Go ahead.
That's not how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to be fair.
Oh, man.
Can we?
You mean fair? Like all those people you ran over? Yeah, that kind of fair? Yeah, you were such an ass. Narcissistic idiot.
Daisy, I trust that this was previously turned over.
It was, and I believe the defendant has a copy of it in front of him.
Thank you.
Where does it
Please
say
continue.
Exhibit 83? It
Oh,
doesn't say
for
that this
gosh
is.
Again, we'll take this up outside the presence of the jury later. It's not something we need to do right now. Go ahead and ask your questions.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I would object and move to strike from the record any commentary that the defendant was making in the last 5 minutes.
What was that?
That's right.
Court will strike the commentary that was made. I'm not sure if it was picked up or not, but as a reminder to the jurors, the statements made by parties and lawyers are not evidence. The testimony and other evidence that's received is the evidence the jury will ultimately consider. Go ahead.
Tom Basie.
Thank you. Sir, can you briefly describe the condition of the vehicle when you inspected it on December 6th?
Oh, and it goes on and on and on.
Why you had to go to the Wisconsin State Crime Lab in order to do the inspection?
Objection, leave.
I'll overrule the witness may answer.
I was requested to go to the state crime lab to do the inspection because they had not yet completed DNA sampling. So until they had it finished, it was going to be retained inside the crime lab. So in the interest of not moving the vehicle again, once they were done with DNA, they had me come to the crime lab to do the testing and inspection.
So the first section of your report, and I'm just going to direct your attention to page 3 of Exhibit 83, talks about the tires and the suspension and tie rods. Did you see that?
Objection, leading.
Yeah, I'm about to look at you, Brooks.
The witness may answer.
Yes.
And can you describe for the jury what part of the inspection, describe this part of the inspection?
Objection, leading.
Overruled, the witness may answer. The report's been received by the court, and the state may direct the witness to various points at its discretion.
When was it made an exhibit? Because I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, for God's sake.
Go ahead, Attorney Basie. You may continue.
Wow.
Thank you. Sir, can you describe the information contained in the first section of the report under the heading tires, wheels, steering, suspension, brakes?
Objection, leading.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
So under this section, it's broken down into 4 parts. One for
Sorry, I gotta stop for a minute. See? Now I see why Brooks wasn't paying a bit of attention to what this fellow here was saying. Because as we will see, as he completes everything, he goes over all of the things that Brooks brought up from the alleged recall. But Brooks is he needs his pacifier, he needs his diaper changed, and he's so busy being pissed because he didn't get a sticker on his exhibit, on the exhibit, that he's just going to object to everything. So he's not even paying any attention to what this guy is saying. And my guess is he's going to ask some stupid ass questions when it's his turn to cross-examinate them, as he would say. Okay, that felt better.
For axle 1 left, which is the driver's side front axle. The left side would refer to it as you're sitting in the vehicle facing forward. The right side would refer to the passenger side. So axle 1 is the frontmost axle. Axle 2 is the rearmost, left and right, and it breaks each individual wheel end component systems down. And then from that, I take each one apart and inspect them thoroughly: brakes, tires, steering components on the front axle, obviously, suspension condition, and anything else that's at the wheel end that I can inspect.
And did you do that in this case?
Yes.
What observations did you make?
First, on axle 1 left, which would be the driver's side front, the tie rod end was worn. About 1/8 of an inch of play in the tie rod end in the ball joint itself. So when you turn the steering wheel or turn the wheel, there was a little bit of play in the tie rod. Still attached, still intact, still functioning, still able to steer the vehicle, but just worn to the point that it needed replacement before it got any worse.
Was that something that would create any problems in operating the car, for example, on November 21st, 2021?
Objection is speculative.
Overruled. This witness may answer. Hold on. He's been qualified under 907-02. I direct your attention to 907-02 through 907-07, Mr. Brooks. Go ahead.
Okay, so you did go on that name, and that's referring to a specific
Blah,
name.
blah.
How do we know that's not speculation?
She just referred you to what to look at. So you just need to shut your pie hole.
The objection's noted. It's overruled. The witness may answer.
It would not. The vehicle would still steer and drive just the same as any other vehicle.
Shut
It would
up.
just have play in the steering wheel, and it would make a little bit of a clunking noise potentially. When you turn the wheel, you would maybe hear a clunking noise from that left front tie rod.
Again, operationally, the person driving that car would have any trouble steering based upon that issue.
Not at all.
Okay. What other observations did you make?
Other observations I made were that all the tires were evenly worn on all 4 axle ends. I believe it was the left rear axle. The tire on that axle was bigger than the other 3. So there's also a chart referenced later in my report that shows the difference between the 2. The tires that are recommended to be on the vehicle are size 235/70 R16, which was what was equipped on the vehicle, except on the left rear, which was 245/75 R16, which is 1 full size bigger in dimension and aspect ratio.
What, if any, impact would that have on how a person's ability to drive that vehicle?
So 1 size bigger in tire is usually not the end of the world, being that it's the single tire. It can have an effect, but it's on the rear of the vehicle. Being a front-wheel drive vehicle, the speeds are reported off of the front axle of that vehicle. So that's where the speedometer would get its speeds from. The only time it would be notable would be during a heavy ABS brake application, and that would be at a higher rate of speed with full brake application where the ABS system kicks in on the vehicle. That's where it could be noticeable, and by could be, I mean the sizes are very similar. They're about 1.5 inches in difference. Revolutions per mile are not that far apart. The ABS system might not even pick up a difference between the 2.
When you say at higher speeds, are we talking, what are we talking?
Higher speed.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Higher speeds, I mean something like highway speeds, 55 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour or greater.
Any other observations made with regard to in that area?
The only other observations that I made were that all the brakes were in good working condition and had adequate thickness left on the brake pads for stopping of the vehicle. All 4 brakes were in good working shape. And
Hear that? Hear that, Brooks? I bet you he won't hear that. Or he will pretend like he doesn't hear. the brakes were okay. So you could have put on your brakes and the vehicle would have stopped. Imagine that.
Were able to be locked at the time of inspection.
So, let me clarify if I didn't ask you this. The information you were provided was that this vehicle was involved in a crash?
Objection. Ask and answer.
Overruled, given the nature of the testimony being provided. The statement clarified that. So go ahead, you may answer.
Yes.
And do you know the date of that crash?
I know it was in November. I don't know the exact date.
Thank you. So with regards to the braking system, was there anything, did you find anything at all in your inspection of that vehicle that would have caused the brakes not to work or not to work effectively on the date of the crash or prior to the crash?
Objection. Speculative.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
No, I did not.
Actually, since your inspection took place after the crash, would that be your same answer with regard to, as it was on December 6, 2021, there were no brake problems?
Objection. Speculative.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
That is correct. The brakes still functioned at the time of inspection fully.
Do you check to see if there are any recalls in a vehicle in coming to your
There
conclusion?
you go.
Objection. Speculative. And do we still need this exhibit?
Wow. See, this is what's interesting. See, he's not focusing on that. She's asking him about recalls. He can't focus on it, and he's annoyed because his exhibit is still up. You know, I'm just going to say here, if he's really, really serious about saving himself, which, of course, there is no saving. We already know this. But this would definitely be the time, instead of worrying about what's fair and what's not fair, and if he didn't have a sticker on the exhibit, or, oh my goodness, you know, whatever. He would have been studying this and tried to think of some of his gotcha questions, which are never good. But he's not going to. He's not focused on that. He is never focused on the right thing. I'm just saying, this would be the time. She's asking about the recalls. And even though he was trying to pull a fast one, as he accused him of at the end, you know, with whatever alleged recall there was, this would have been the time. And that is why Attorney Basie had said, when he brought it up, and Judge Darrell, that he had ample opportunity on his redirect. No, not redirect, sorry. Cross-examination of him. But nope, he's not even focusing on it. Fool.
Thank you. We can take that down, and your objection's noted. It's overruled. The witness may answer.
He's
I
tapping
can check for recalls, yes.
Were there any on this vehicle?
There were not recalls on this vehicle. There was only an extended service warranty from Ford, which had since elapsed due to the mileage on the vehicle.